Imagine being told one morning, without warning, without a single piece of paper, that your job, your stability, your dignity is just gone. Fired on the spot. No explanation, no chance to defend yourself. Now imagine turning that betrayal into a 5-figure payday and watching the very boss who humiliated you get roasted by a judge in front of everyone. That's exactly what happened to me, and trust me, karma never tasted so sweet. If you've ever been underestimated, disrespected, or flat out exploited by a boss, hit that like button because this story is for you. Subscribe for more true stories of justice served, and let's dive into one of the most satisfying workplace revenges you'll ever hear. A few years back, I was working for a big Italian company. On paper, I was a freelancer. In reality, I was chained to my desk from 9 to 5, 5 days a week. No freedom, no flexibility, no benefits. They forced me to open a VAT number, a way of dodging labor laws, so they could treat me like an employee without giving me employee protections. I raised concerns, but management brushed me off with the same rehearsed lie. Don't worry, you'll get more connections through us. Spoiler alert, I didn't. And here's the kicker. While I worked myself to the bone, pouring every ounce of skill into SEO and social media campaigns, the bosses were busy protecting their girlfriends and mistresses on payroll. That's right. The mini boss had his girlfriend in the office. The big boss had his mistress. Both women were hopeless at their jobs, lazy, careless, constantly making mistakes. And guess who had to fix those mistakes? Me. I wasn't shy about pointing out that their incompetence was dragging everyone down, and I could feel the resentment brewing every time I called it out. 7 months into the job, I thought things were going well. Clients were happy, my deadlines were flawless. Even management had praised me publicly. Then, one random morning, the mini-boss calls me into his office. No warning, no HR, no paperwork, just a smug face and 5 little words. Your services are no longer required. My chest tightened. For a second, I couldn't breathe. It wasn't just the job, it was the sheer disrespect. No explanation, no reason, no dignity. I asked to speak with the big boss. Mini boss shook his head. Request denied. That's when something inside me shifted. My fear turned into steel. I smiled, not because I wasn't hurt, but because I knew this wasn't the end. I looked Mini Boss straight in the eyes and said, "This isn't over." His face went pale. He stammered, "Are you threatening the company?" I leaned forward just enough for him to hear the certainty in my voice. "Threats are for people who aren't sure they'll win. I'm making you a promise. It's just a matter of time." I walked out of that office shaking, but not with fear, with determination. I found a labor lawyer, and together we started building a case, because what they had done wasn't just shady, it was flat out illegal. They had forced me into fake self-employment, denied me employee rights, and then fired me without written notice. Here's where fate stepped in. The big boss, in all his arrogance, responded to my lawyer's official letter with a furious email full of insults and personal attacks. Can you believe it? He basically handed me bonus evidence on a silver platter. Every angry word was another nail in his own coffin. For the next year, because Italian bureaucracy moves at a snail's pace, I gathered everything. Every email, every invoice, every WhatsApp message where they treated me like an employee. Photos of me at the office, screenshots of clients praising me, even proof of the boss's girlfriends and mistresses dumping work on me. By the time I was done, my lawyer and I had compiled a 200-page dossier. Ironclad, bulletproof, enough evidence to bury them in court. And just when I was ready to unleash it, Christmas came early. Days after my lawyer filed the dossier, the company's own lawyer called us. Their tone wasn't confident, it wasn't defiant, it was desperate. They begged me, yes, begged me, to name a settlement figure so they could avoid going to trial. I took a deep breath. This was my moment, my justice, my revenge. With my lawyer, I asked for a 5-figure sum. And do you know what they said? No arguments, no negotiations, no complaints. Just one word. Accepted. They paid up. In full. But the cherry on top came at the settlement hearing. The judge, after reviewing the evidence, actually congratulated me and my lawyer. She turned to my ex-boss, looked him dead in the eye, and said, "We are honestly tired of seeing your name in court. Your conduct is appalling." He sat there, humiliated, as the entire room heard those words. And I walked out of that courtroom not just with money in my account, but with my dignity intact, my promise fulfilled, my revenge complete. The moment my lawyer told me they had accepted the settlement, I laughed, not out of spite, but out of pure relief. All the late nights, the anxiety, the disrespect, it had all been worth it. They thought I was powerless. They thought they could toss me aside like trash. Instead, they ended up paying me more than they ever planned to. And the best part, their reputations took a hit they'll never recover from. Karma doesn't just knock, it kicks the door wide open. You know, revenge isn't always about screaming or fighting back in the moment. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is patience. It's knowing the law is on your side. It's letting your enemies dig their own grave while you quietly gather the shovel. And when justice finally comes, it tastes better than you could ever imagine. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell us in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more stories of justice served hot, because sometimes the universe really does keep the receipts.